And we are live. Hello to all you BC WrestlePod nerds out there. And welcome to another rendition of the All Elite Ensemble review. Anywho, your weekly AEW review show here at the BC WrestlePod networking conglomeration syndicate thing that we are pretty much doing almost every single day of the week. I am your lead host or co-host or the man who is in charge of the ones and twos, Mikey. And of course, joining me this evening are my lovely co-hosts who I cannot do this show without. First and foremost, you know him, you love him. This is Mr. Pavlova Ford JVL.
Nice to be here. And weirdly, 2 weeks in a row, I've seen the professor's face. I feel like I've been granted some reprieve from a long dead time in solitary somewhere with Mikey where, you know, I love him to death, but it's nice to have a change.
It's okay. I understand. And of course, lovingly mentioned here, of course, for the second week in a row, we have the Professor.
Yeah, I was in theater purgatory, a place that you know all too well, where you go, I love this show. I love performing with these people. I'd like my life back, please. This was an interesting week for AEW. There's a lot of headlines with, of course, other promotions and other things, so it's kind of refreshing to look at what AEW is doing and other things that are going on over here. And really, I was, should I say this? I'll say this. I went into Dynamite this week going, all right, fine. I wasn't feeling anything.
Well,
I was just sort of, okay.
How could you have it live up to anything from the week before where we saw Arena Mexico and all that amazing stuff?
Right. I mean, coming from all the lucha homework I did and everything else, it was like, okay, I'll go back to what. Still solid, still fun. There were some matches in here where I was not expecting this, and some funny moments they still only got back into. But after learning and feeling the high pace and style of what we've come from, I was a little spoiled by last week's reviews, and I felt it coming into this. Like, oh man, it's just a totally different field now. Wow.
No,
on top of the fact that we're coming up to a big pay-per-view for them again, so it's like we're trying to work our way through this, and everything's being set up at the same time.
And we have stuff to talk about, and I would love your opinions, but I know we don't have too much time. I think the Grand Slam Mexico and the CMLL shows kind of hurt them momentum-wise because those were so good.
Right?
You just set the bar for your fans in a way that's like, this is amazing. You got 20 days to make me care about something happening in Texas. Ooh, it better be good.
Which
is
it's very
counter-programmed by everything else at this point.
Right. Which the counter-programming wars are getting silly. Like, I get it, but it's dumb.
No, I'm gonna be so for real. I was just like, I hate the counter programming. Are we gonna watch everything? Well, not all of us are gonna watch everything. Am I gonna tune in for some of this stuff? Yes. But as soon as I saw a particular match we talked about in the WWE review 2 weeks ago, been popping up for Saturday night's main event, I was like, and we're doing a watch along for All in Texas. Like that is where I was at. I was just like, if you go on counter program, like I said before, give me something that I'm going to tune in. And it sucks because I'm definitely going to watch a Great American Bash for NXT before, because it's probably going to happen in the morning. I'm going to be watching Evolution because I think the women of the other company deserve it, because
that's the only one I would be watching on occasion for that. The other ones, like, it's a huge marquee thing where you don't see it that often. You need to watch that pay-per-view.
And I'm just like, I don't care about Saturday night's main event because then you got like 2.5 weeks before we hit SummerSlam, which is wild.
What sucks is the two that I watched were good. And I was like, those are actually kind of fun. I enjoy those. And now it's like, hey, do you want this? No, I hate that flavor. Why would you do this to me?
I mean, we just had Saudi Arabia shoved down our throats, so I don't know.
Oh, yes.
No, and I ignored them for 10 days.
Yes, you should.
Yeah, tune in Sunday. Tune in Sunday to hear all our thoughts, because we're actually we're going to get into AEW, Dynamite, and Collision. So if you're new here to BC WrestlePod, we thank you. We loves you. Make sure to hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch. But if you can't watch our beautiful faces review wrestling for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending on what we're reviewing, you can follow us on the social medias where you can still stay well informed with our clips that summarize the important talking points each episode, as well as the report cards for the weekly shows and the pay-per-views, which is a lot of fun. We also have some merchandise, which I kicked into the chat not too long ago. So we got lots of things. Please make sure to go buy some stuff. We have review merch for all of our teams. We have our summer collection. We have our Pride collection. We have our collection that is very anti-establishment, if you will, right now. So fight the power. Anyways, we're going to dive straight into AEW Dynamite because we have some things that are setting up for y'all in Texas, as well as what's happening tomorrow night. So we kick Dynamite off first with, I love this photo, by the way. I love this
Where
photo.
in the world has Tony Storm been?
Yes, where in the world is Timeless Tony Storm, Carmen Sandiego?
I have some very thirsty friends who are of a particular age for Carmen Sandiego, and this blew up my group chat. They've loved the last 2 weeks, but this is doing something to their subconscious. They're not sure what they should do.
I've had the same thing, and some of my friends that have just been like on my recommendation checking out Tony Storm's stuff for the last month and a half. I also feel like AEW's missing a trick here, and if she doesn't get introduced to the ring by Rockapella, I'm going to be very upset.
Yes.
Oh my god!
That would
if
be
they could
amazing.
drop $200,000 for the final countdown, they gotta find
Rockapella to rewrite Carmen Sandiego. Where in the world is Tony Storm?
Yeah, and then she just walks out. I think I'd start crying.
For reals, I think
either that or find me someone to do a Miss Frizzle, and then I'll probably turn into a puddle. Anyway, continue. Please continue.
I mean, I can arrange that.
Ooh, we'll talk afterwards. We're gonna set this up, the content. But Timeless Tony Storm does supposedly to appear live, but she doesn't get the chance to really do too much of anything because she gets attacked by Mercedes Moné. And so Mercedes attacks Tony, is beating her up. Mina Shirakawa comes out for the save. Mercedes gets on the mic, and it's literally, I can summarize it as game on, bitch. So let the games begin. I was like, all right, we got 2.5 weeks for this intensity, but all right.
Love it. Love it.
I am. Mercedes, I'm going to give you your flowers when we talk about Collision, because that promo, though, I was like, ooh, I'm here for this. Where was this? We're going to talk about it when we get to Collision, though. So
as long as we get like a style of match from Mercedes and Tony to the level that she showed in Mexico, that she's shown in Japan, and it's not like her typical AEW match, I think we should have a good time.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm just out on my limb here. She's going to win the title.
You're probably
right.
Want it to happen. I don't want it to happen, but you're probably right.
The Mercedes Moné that we've been seeing that has done what you've talked about is so different from AEW Mercedes Moné. Like we saw glimpses of in the beginning when she came home to Boston, those first 3 or 4 months, which feels so long ago. It's just over a year ago, right? A year and 6 months ago.
God,
something like that, yeah.
But like, I don't want to say I've written her off because that would be mean, but I was definitely disinterested in Belt Collector, and all of a sudden within 3 weeks, I'm like, oh, this could be amazing. And I know there was whatever happened on Collision, which we're talking about, but this could be great. Something I did not anticipate.
It definitely could be. And again, I'm still excited for what we're getting in terms of the matches announced so far for All in Texas, as well as what we're possibly going to be getting after what happens tomorrow. So more on that in a little bit. But right now, let's talk about this. So I thought this was a fun bit for me. So the EVPs appear on the Titantron, and they're just like, they were talking about Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland. Their match was supposed to be in the second hour, but because of the EVPs, there's like, you know what? Your guys' match is now. So then Will Ospreay's music hits, and we're waiting for like a good 2 minutes while we were watching on Max. And I was just like, okay. And then Will comes running out, still in his t-shirt, still taping up his wrists. The boots were not laced. I was just like, good show. I was like, this is great.
This is
This is how
theater,
you
and this
sell.
is good
Oh
theater.
crap! I wasn't prepared.
Yeah, the whole night. I have a few theories on this night. There seemed like the whole night was filled with I'm going to try and make you laugh, or I'm going to try and break you, or let's just have fun tonight. Because they went off the rails a few times. I mean, Mercedes and Tony, sure. But I'm pretty sure that we'll talk about it when we get there. There were a few things that happened where it was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You're just goofing off with each other. What are we doing?
Yeah, Washington is a pretty good crowd for this kind of stuff because we were in Washington for both Dynamite and Collision.
Well, and the morale you can see backstage after their Mexico trip, everything has bumped back up. They're in a good place. And I think they're trying to be like, well, the other side is so worried about us. They're counter-programming 15 things against us. Let's go out here and have some fun. We've got this in the bag.
I had such a great time. So, of course, Will is not prepared, and he's running in, and he's still getting ready. And then Swerve is literally also putting finishing touches as he's walking out, too. He's like, all right, we don't... While Will was like, oh, crap, I need to hurry, Swerve was just like, really? All right, let's just get this over with.
Well,
I was
it's
like,
his house.
Yeah, I was like, this is my house. All right, we'll see what happens. And so Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland team up against Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. This was a quick 8-minute bout. Swerve and Ospreay do pick up the victory here, to nobody's surprise. Blake Christian, I love you. I'm sorry.
And they worked great together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, Blake Christian and him made them look great. Like they all four of them worked really, really well together. But this chocolate vanilla swirl thing was fantastic. It was so good.
Yeah.
It's almost like they've known each other for like 20 years and they've worked together and like, yeah.
But they're like laughing at each other. They're making jokes with each other during the match. Like so, I'm pretty sure before that 540, whatever that twisty thing Ospreay does, Swerve looked at him like, "You're gonna do it, aren't you?" And he just goes, "Yeah." Boom! It's like these little moments. They're like, you could see them talking in the ring when they get in the corner there, and they're doing like hand gestures at each other, and like they're calling stuff right there, and sort of sitting there going, "You gonna pull it out tonight? It's a TV taping. You want to do your pay-per-view stuff, huh? Because I will. If you don't, I'm gonna go ahead." You do it? So good.
So Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland pick up the victory here. Of course, we get after promo shenanigans because the EVPs come out. Ospreay and Will are ready to fight. Security is like blocking both parties. Ospreay and Swerve get on the mic. Well, mostly Ospreay does the talking here. And on the behest of him and Swerve, they challenge the EVPs to a tag team match at Y'all in Texas. But then to add some stake on this, to add some stakes here, they challenge the EVPs that should they lose their EVP title and powers. So we're basically fighting for control of this company. So either the Young Bucks will stay in charge or they gonna be not in charge by the end of Y'all in Texas.
I think they're not going to be in charge. There's going to be all those rumors about the fact they want to start their own company and do a bunch of other stuff. I think they've wanted to step back. This might be the way.
You think they want to start their own company?
They've been talking about like starting their own school and company on the side that's a little different than this. They want to be involved with AEW. They just don't want to run anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Huh?
They also want to travel the world and wrestle around the world too, because they've been popping in and out of Japan for the last 2 months as well too. I mean, they were at Resurgence back in May, so they were part of that 8-man against Bullet Club War Dog. So,
yeah, I guess I don't hate that. I mean, we'll discuss. We'll discuss. I don't want to.
We'll discuss.
Yeah, so we don't have an official graphic yet, but y'all know there's no way they're gonna leave Will and Swerve off the card. So we gonna figure something out. So let's leave this segment because next, well, it kind of continues a little bit because we go backstage after commercial. Matthew and Nicholas basically tell us that Swerve has been suspended for the rest of the night for putting the hands on an official. So he's not here for the rest of the evening. The Don Callis family come up to try to strike a deal with the EVPs. It seems that they are going to potentially working together, which is screaming this is going to fall apart very soon, like really fast, as we know. Okada comes in because he's part of the EVP's crew and everything. So I was like, okay, cool. Like Don Callis family, EVPs, this is going to be a mess, but we love it.
I gotta ask about this. So are all the heel factions just now under one weird umbrella? Because Okada's in the Don Callis family, in the EVPs. We got the Death Riders working with the EVPs.
Sure.
Are we trying to start an NWO AEW? Like, what the heck's going on here?
Who knows? But let me tell you though.
I mean, that could be the build. Like, if the EVPs are trying to get out, that's what we're trying to do. Is look, all the heels are in one big fat boo, and then that explodes, and then everyone can do whatever they want, right? You get that massive turn,
right? But
could be
this picture. Yeah, this picture right here though. Can't wait.
Man,
bring it.
Someday.
When he beats Kenny at All In.
Ooh, this gonna be so much fun. Takeshida's out here on a roll, man. I'm just like, Takeshita, you gonna be busy that whole weekend because I won't be here for the CMLL review. But the fact that you and Bandito are about to have a classic at Supercard of Honor is gonna be baller.
The fact that everyone, Will and Adolfo, who haven't watched too much Takeshita, who watched and saw that, they're fired up for seeing that. So,
as they should be. I mean, seriously,
Takeshita's great. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited because he's going to be at Supercard of Honor. Takeshi's probably going to be doing something, probably in that that men's casino gauntlet match at All in Texas. And then he's going to be gone for a month, and me and Adolfo get to watch him compete in the G1 Climax. So that's going to be fun to watch as well. So Takeshita is booked and blessed. But this match right here, Takeshita is like, remember, this is only temporary. I'm like, ooh, let's go. So cannot wait for this match to happen sometime this year. Please give it to me, AEW. Don't let this go on for any longer.
Oh, but they will. Oh, but
they probably will. So let's move on because we got the in-ring singles match return of Mr. Kota Ibushi, one half of the Golden Lovers.
Please,
him and Kenny Omega.
Ibushi, please.
I love you, Kota Ibushi. And, of course, Kota Ibushi is taking on Trent Beretta, so these two are no strangers to each other in their times in New Japan. It's crazy that we are getting, like, the previous generation of New Japan here on the stateside, which is crazy to say in 2025, because if you had asked me, like, 5 years ago if that was possible, I'd be like, ah! But here we are. I will say, this picture, Trent, I love you, but it looks like you're smelling, someone took a dookie and you smelled a fart. Like, this is...
It's in his beard. It's in his beard.
He's like, it's in my beard.
He's disappointed. Look how disappointed he is. Like, my mouth was open.
And then Rocky Romero's behind him, like, seriously, Trent? Ugh.
It's like, really, bro? Really? So,
behind him, the dude behind him has the same face. Like,
it's Rocky Romero, yeah.
You're Rocky Romero for reals. So, fun fact, this is Kota Ibushi's in-ring return, but this is his first singles match since signing with AEW. He's always been involved in the multi-person matches.
Well, the last time we saw... They didn't know if he was going to be able to do it because he was a step slower anyways, and he hurt himself multiple times.
Right. The last time we saw Kota Ibushi was in that Yakuza themed like multi-man street fight like a year and a half ago when he came in riding in a bike.
Yep.
He had surgery shortly after that, right? Wasn't that why he was gone for like a year? He had like a neck
on top of injuries, and then just like Hikaru Shida, visa issues are like plaguing people left and right, especially our Japanese wrestler.
Shocker.
Which is crazy, but we got it fixed for Kota. Shida should be coming back very soon. Would not be surprised if she comes back during the women's match, which I'm super excited about. But we get Kota Ibushi versus Trent Beretta. This was a decent match. I think this was a fine match for Kota Ibushi's singles. His first singles match in AEW, which is crazy.
I feel like there was some rust there, especially in American stuff. Like he was definitely like refining himself in a couple places, and I think I don't think he's come to the realization that he needs to slow his style down to a point just to make it flow again. Like he's pushing too fast and it's not working. And I'm hoping being in the same locker room with Kenny again, where Kenny can talk him through like, hey, you've had major changes to your body and stuff like that, just like I have. Here's how we work it. And he can probably get his feet underneath him. But I worry that he's going to hurt himself again if he keeps trying to push.
Wasn't Trent Beretta injured too? Am I crazy? So
At some
ones...
point he was, and then his tag team partner is officially retired from in-ring, so Mr. Chucky T, Chuck Taylor.
Oh, okay.
There was a point in this match where I believe Coda, I'm trying to think, it wasn't a pile driver, I think.
No.
I'm trying to think, but there was a point where I thought Trent landed on his neck. I'm like, oh God.
There were a few moments in here. They weren't botches at all, but they were sort of things that you wish were smooth. Ibushi like slipped on his chest at one point, like went and did a stomp and then just fell. Poof. It was like, hi everybody. Like, okay, that didn't quite work the way you wanted.
Well, like I said, like he was like 2 steps ahead of where he wanted to be because his brain was already there.
Sure.
But his body hasn't caught up yet because it's recovering and it's different now. There's been so much wear and tear on him that he forgets he can't do what he used to do the same way. He's got to adapt his style a bit.
I know it's not going to happen, but Pride Month, you got to have a nod to the Golden Lovers at some point. You got to do something. Shake it up.
July, right, John?
No, is it? Fuck, is it July?
Yeah, it's July.
Today.
Hey, but you know what?
Pride should happen all year, though.
Pride is happening every year. And let's be real, the Golden Lovers is like the worst kept secret in professional wrestling history outside of the United States. Like we all knew. I was like, the Golden Lovers, I was just like, y'all are a iconic team in and out of the ring, because while it was never confirmed, I was just like, y'all.
If you read their interviews, the interviews they gave about it and how ambiguously gay duo they are about it, my God, it's beautiful.
Shout out to Kenny Omega, because he is comfortable in his identity, which I love. Kenny is just like, don't be a dick. I was like, you go, Kenny. But Kota Ibushi picks up the victory here. We have a quick stare down between these two, and I'm just like, ooh, this is going to be fun. And then sure enough, tomorrow night at Dynamite 300, Kota Ibushi versus Kazuchika Okada. These two have not faced off against each other in a singles match in a year and a half. So
nope.
This is going to be crazy. I get to be there live. I may or may not cry.
You can cry.
You got to give us a full thing on that.
I'm excited. This is going to be fun. So we are getting this tomorrow night on Dynamite 300. So this is going to be fun. So let's move on to our next bit. Jon Moxley in a stairwell cutting a promo. I will say, I actually like this promo because I was like, finally we got to the plot. It took us a couple of months, but we finally got to the plot, kind of.
By a couple
Jon
months,
Moxley
you mean
cuts his
6?
promo. Yeah, he's basically telling us that, you know, he's tired of Hangman and he's going to destroy him. I was like, okay, I'm behind this. Y'all got this.
I think, and then JBL and I can talk acting on this stuff. This was the first truthful promo I think he's given about this feud, in my opinion. Because a lot of the other ones have always been like, you and your millennial whatever. It's like, okay, you're just trying to rally up whatever. This is the first one that was like, hey, sit here, breathe. There's no one here. What do you have to say? And I was taken aback by it because I tune out. I was like, oh, it's a Moxley. I like Jon Moxley. I like Jon Moxley. I like Jon Moxley. But some of these promos start to kick into that Ultimate Warrior place. And I go, where are we going, bud? This one was like, oh, look at you being like, that's it. That's a murderer. I'm willing to listen to you.
I feel like John started to channel the bastard Pac finally in some of his stuff where he's not just talking nonsense. And again, when he's edited, he's a lot better than right now when he's in the ring. I still don't care. I'm sorry, I don't. It's too little, too late.
You know what?
I'm interested in it, but I don't care.
It's fair. It's very fair. But so all I know is AEW, everybody's going to be talking about y'all in Texas. Whether that is good or bad, we will find out next Saturday. So we're going to come back.
I will say for this, though, when I did watch it, I'm like, why is the professor angry in a stairwell?
Nah. The professor, you could be Jon Moxley for Halloween.
There's a few faces he makes where I'm like, that's a crossweight face. Are we related? Are you? What's your real name, dude? Because there's crossweights in Ohio. Who are you? Like, I should look that up.
Things like John Good or something, or John something or other.
If he's like a cousin of mine, I'm gonna try and
Well, I mean, the hairline says it all. So,
wow.
You see, this doesn't lie. This is the truth.
Oh my goodness, I love this. So After this promo, though, we get into our tag team match. So earlier in the evening, Ricochet somehow managingly convinced AR Fox to team with him because he wants him to be a part of his squad.
But he's been a babyface for the last month. What the hell is this, AR Fox?
This is we'll talk about it when we get to Collision.
He teamed with the other team.
That it's getting crazy out here. But we get this tag team match. We get Jet Speed, so Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight versus AR Fox and Ricochet. We already knew from the jump that AR and Ricochet were not going to work out, especially because towards the first 3 minutes of the match, AR Fox reprimanding Ricochet for being an absolute tool and trying to cheat and being heelish to Jet Speed. This was a fun match for sure, but the writing was on the wall. Towards the tail end, Ricochet just ups and abandons AR Fox, and which allows Jet Speed to hit the finisher on AR for the win. And so I was just like, this was fun. This was funny to watch. I was just like,
I didn't hate this. There was some stuff I hadn't quite seen done this way. I like AR Fox. AR Fox landing on Jet Speed and then a jet and then jumping onto Bailey was hysterical.
Oh yeah.
Ricochet just being a dick was, fun. I think commentary kind of blew this one for me and got me to tune out a little. Not to blame commentary, but this was still a fun high-speed match. But I think I can't even remember the phrase now, but it drove me nuts the whole time. It was sort of like something, scissors, something, scissors. Stop bringing up stuff that has nothing to do with what we're watching.
They were focused on storyline versus match. It basically was I need to promote the storyline of this because they're not trusting the match to actually give that away. I felt for them. They had their hands tied. They had to push whatever they were pushing for this narrative. So.
And Taz must have said, Taz said something along the lines of if I were AR Fox, I don't know if I would trust him. But he said it 10 times in a row.
Thank you, Taz. But I digress.
We're glad that you're healthy, but that's why when we get to Collision, I'm like, thank you, Ian.
Oh my God, yes.
Ian Riccaboni, you are such a beautiful change to this commentary table from time to time. We're going to talk about it when we get to Collision. But
I did love that Ricochet is having the most fun he's had all of his career, though. He is
really
I absolutely think that's great. Yeah.
So again, Jet Speed pick up the victory. Ricochet abandons AR Fox. Jet Speed get to the ramp. They have somewhat of an interview with Tony Schiavone, and they call out their shot to the tag team champions, the Hurt Syndicate, for a match for the titles. They come out, they destroy Jet Speed, they put both Kevin Knight and Speedball through a table, and then they just promptly walk down to the ring for the next segment.
So go back and if you get a chance, there's about 10 movie quote jokes in here, which they had to have something in the locker room to be like, let's see how many movie quotes we can put into this thing. There's a Jaws reference, there's 2 Spider-Man jokes, there's just all these one-liners that one I can't remember. I'm not going to go back. Someone shoehorned one in that was really awkward. That didn't work, but okay. Commentary was on it.
Was that the Dog Day Afternoon one they tried to do?
Oh, yeah. It was like, wait, what? MVP had one that was like, where did that come from? All of them were in on, let's just play a movie quote game and see how long we can make it run.
Right.
It was funny if you caught it.
So we get 2 halves of this promo. MVP does all of that. So he talks about how Jet Speed can get a tag team championship match if they're able to walk after we just saw them get thrown through tables. So this is going to be fun. So
yeah, Speedball Mike Bailey having a seizure.
He's
selling. Oh, buddy.
No, he's selling like Daniel Bryan used to, or Bryan Danielson used
to.
Yes. It's your neck is not that messed up, Mike. We know, but God's please.
It was that close to foaming. Speedball, hang on.
Kevin Knight's like, wake up, buddy, wake up,
wake up, darn you. Anyways, so MVP does his thing. He puts over the Hurt Syndicate. He basically tells that if Jet Speed can walk, they get their match, which is probably going to get added to y'all in this week. Then MJF gets on the mic. He tells us that he's going to be in a match at Dynamite 300 to earn the number 2 spot in the men's casino gauntlet match, which then prompts, So again, MJF comes out for all of this. Mark Briscoe comes out because then MJF talks about how, MVP and MJF start dunking on Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe is out here to rectify the wrongs. And the fact that Mark Briscoe is so loved here in AEW, he basically compared MJF's like familyhood to a kosher pickle. And then the crowd started chanting kosher pickle.
He got it over. Kosher pickle. And they were on it. And they're all laughing.
How could they not? Mark Briscoe is just out there having a blast. I have been watching a lot of clips have popped up in my Instagram feed of like old things he used to do when he was on like the Delaware News, when he'd pop up with his brother. It's just the most bizarre stuff. I'm like, yes, this is what I need, is the cracked in the head Mark Briscoe who can just do the most out of pocket stuff and the crowd eats it up.
They're all laughing.
Yeah.
All of them. All four of them. Bobby Lashley looks away. Sheldon looks down and grabs the ropes. Poor MJF has that like, I'm not going to laugh face. MVP kind of chuckles and then kind of gets back into it.
Yeah.
But the crowd was going crazy. Like, if they don't, they got to run with this. I hope they run with this.
They have to now. I mean, if they're going to listen to the crowd itself, it's going to be so much
MJF kind of has to win tomorrow night, but who knows? Crazier things have happened.
Someone needs to pull a pickle out and throw it at him.
That would be hilarious.
But like bite off the end of it and then throw it.
Well, remember also he did that whole press conference afterwards where he was like eating pickles on it and like put pickles over. So like
after this,
not after this, like this is like 2 years ago, a year ago, something like that.
At a scrum after one of the pay-per-views.
Yeah, like legitimately, like Shoot was like eating pickles there and putting them over.
He was playing off of the CM Punk eating a donut and eating like
okay. That's really funny.
Yeah, kosher pickle got over. So MJF is in a fatal 4-way match tomorrow night at Dynamite 300. So let's get into this match though, because Mark Briscoe was out here because he was competing. Winner is number 1 at the men's casino gauntlet match. This was kind of a bop, you guys. Not even going front. This was a bop.
I was this close to putting it on my rewatch matches of the year. I'm still kind of 50-50.
It's there for me. It's there for me just because of stuff between Mark Briscoe and Takesha.
Oh, so good.
The only reason I think it's not is because I haven't rewatched it, but it's right there. Granted, this was the one that was closest to everything I watched last week, and I think that's probably what the carryover was. It was like, oh, that's right. But this was quite good. This was quite good.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't say anything more than that. You had 4 good workers, 3 people with charisma, and it just flowed. Like even Roddy got some good stuff in there. I was very surprised because he hasn't had a time to shine in the last couple of, I don't know. It just it was. He's been taking L's
the last couple of weeks.
Because Paragon is right up there with some of the dumbest names and dumbest faction. I don't know.
Stay tuned for our video essay on what's the worst name, Paragon or Ops.
That would be not. Oh man, I think Paragon's worse than Ops.
The
Paragon's
Opspagon, the Paragon.
No.
A Rhodesian Opstagon.
Call them the Pops because they all like over the age of certain.
We the Pops? Oh,
except for Powerhouse. Powerhouse is the only one that is still relatively young. Everybody else is about to qualify for AARP in like 5 years or so.
Oh God,
it's crazy out here,
man.
I will say the moment that made me squeal like with joy was when Mark Briscoe and Bandito were fighting each other. Bandito was ready to hit his finisher, but then Mark stopped him, which then allowed Takesha to do like a double person suplex.
Oh,
that was ridiculous.
Physics be bent.
Yes.
The like Grand Theft Auto physics. Like, how did you even? You're like,
how'd you survive?
Mark Briscoe did some crazy thing off the rope that missed, and then Strong was supposed to wrap him up, but he missed. So there was a miss, and it still came out smooth. Like, wow, they did that on the fly and fixed it. Yeah. I would love to see Mark Briscoe any one of these. Like, give it to me.
Absolutely. Well, the fun thing is that Mark Briscoe wins, so he has the number 1 spot in the men's casino gauntlet match at All in Texas.
And
so
guess
that's
who he's fighting number 2?
MJF, probably. So it is what it is. However, this also sets up because we are getting Bandito versus Takeshita at Supercard of Honor the day before. So that listen, I have the login for ROH Club. Like, I'm doing a mini review the morning of on that Saturday because I was just like, listen, storytelling be damned. This match is gonna feed children. Like, this match is gonna feed the families out here.
I don't call my shot. I try not to. That could be. I mean, the odds are definitely Will Ospreay, but that could be match of the year.
Easily.
Easy.
Takeshita is putting on bangers. To me, he hasn't had a singles, like, a really bad match at all this year either.
All that needs is Dalton Castle to interfere.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And I just feel like, and this is again a rabbit hole. We got other stuff to talk about. Takeshita should be huge. Takeshita should be your top 3, top 4 guy. He's kind of stuck in this Don Callis, what are we doing faction thing the last 2 years.
But it seems that we're planting the seeds for Takeshita to kind of go out on his own or defect from the Don Callis family, especially that little interaction he had with Okada.
He should be the Cody Rhodes of this company. He should be that. I don't know why he's not.
So, great match. This was fantastic. This is probably my favorite match of Dynamite, not gonna lie. But we move on from this because we get Adam Cole cutting this quick promo. He challenges any member of the Don Callis family for the TNT Championship at Collision. So we'll talk about it when we get there.
I figured this out in watching it the second time. Everyone else was having fun this evening. Adam Cole trying to be serious was just out of place. It didn't work for me because it's like, this isn't the vibe we were getting from Dynamite. And I'm like, dude, when you're serious and no one else around you is, you look like a fool. And I couldn't stop laughing at this promo.
That's got to be it. Because I had a similar reaction, but I didn't quite chalk it up to that. Where I was just sort of like, that was weird. What's wrong with you?
Adam Cole, just give me Chugs as your wrestling character. Like, that I will take any day.
And we do this as liberal people all the time, where we kind of get our heads so far up our butt we can't enjoy anything. You could be at a party, you could be having a blast, and there's always that one hippie kid in the corner who's like, I can't enjoy this. Do you know how much water we wasted tonight? It's like, what? They
get mad over the craziest stuff. It's like, bruh.
You have died because I just can't get over the fact that this thing. What? Come on. You can't have it all the time.
He's that kid that came in with an agenda that he had to get off of his brain in order to have fun. And the problem is he's a downer, but he's not following through as much as he's realizing halfway through what he's saying. Oh, this was the wrong room.
Yeah, exactly.
I walked into wrong. I'm so sorry. Like,
he could have flipped this, right? He could have made this fun, and a lot of us. I don't think he might not have known. He might have pre-taped this. I'm not ragging on Adam Cole.
Yeah, no.
It's probably booking or whatever else too, right?
Yeah,
and we've seen him be funny. He can.
It just didn't fit the vibe. It's basically it wasn't a bad promo. It wasn't a great promo.
Not a vibe.
It was better than Jon Moxley. But
in the words of Kendrick Lamar, "Bitch, don't kill my vibe."
Fair.
We love it. Adam Cole, baby, we love you. We really do.
We do.
Woo! Okay. I will say there were a couple of scary moments, but damn, I was just like, man. This match rolled. So this was a women's fatal 4-way to see who would get the number 1 spot in the women's casino gauntlet match. So I'm really happy that we're getting both the men's and the women's y'all in Texas. Which is smart because then we get some returns. We're probably going to, when we get to Collision, I have a certain, British woman who's probably going to be debuting at the show. We'll talk about her, which makes me excited because I love her. But this is a fatal 4-way for the number 1 spot in the women's casino gauntlet match. This is Willow Nightingale, our Ring of Honor women's champion, Athena, La Meta herself, Thunder Rosa, and a Saturday Night Fever, Chris Statlander.
Did you mean to say sad Saturday Night Fever there?
That
she
too.
Has been sad Saturday Night Fever for the last couple of weeks.
Sad Saturday Night Fever, like Chris Statlander. Honestly, these four are amazing. I love them so much. And then, of course, we got Billy Starks accompanying Athena down to the ring and being involved with that, which is setting up Athena versus Thunder's match at Super Card of Honor, which I'm like, girl, this is about to be a banger too. Like Athena versus Thunder gonna be great. Cannot wait for that.
Give me more of this, please, on all of my Dynamite. Anything like this, women's division
For
in general.
real.
Could we have 3 more matches? We'd have better matches than was on this card. It's weird.
They had 8. They got 8 minutes. About 2 minutes of it were commercial.
Yep.
Very unfortunate.
And yet they outperformed 90% of the show.
That's very true.
What I am glad about is that it ended the show, so we didn't get a truncated, hey, you got to cut half of this like we normally get with AEW things, right?
God, yeah.
They could have gone, oh, I know you got 10 minutes planned. Cut it to 4 because Mox's promo's next, and this other thing ran long. They didn't do that to them. They closed the show with this. So
they did.
I don't think it's going to be consistent. It's probably a fluke. They need to do better. Willow Nightingale doing that grande, whatever suplexy thing, even though she did nothing but grab the undercarriages for lack of being
the Tower of Doom.
Yeah, Tower just sort of grabs them and throws them and then goes, look how strong I am. It's like, you didn't really do anything, but that's amazing.
No, see, I always want to wrestle do this where they start like that and then they point to their brain because it's like, I use physics. I was a lever.
Leverage.
Like,
I am a pulley system.
Shout out to Bill Nye, the science guy.
The second degree of right.
Look, if we ever get Bill Nye the Science Guy in AEW just for a spot, I would die of happiness. Not even going front.
If he can just analyze like certain wrestling moves, like here's where the leverage is used, like the leverage we use when we move certain things around.
That's what I'm saying.
So good. But it's got to be a one shot, right? The camera's got to pull away, and it's him with the chalkboard going, "Hi guys, so here's what it is," and then it just anyway,
just have it be a talking head in the middle of a match.
I thought this was great.
Here's the thing. Stick them on Ring of Honor. It would be Caprice, Ian, and Bill Nye the Science Guy. Tell me that would not be a fun time. Oh my goodness.
I don't think I would watch the matches. I would just listen to them talk.
Bill Nye is a hoot when he's interviewed or does stuff like that. It'd be amazing to do that. But plus also, did anyone not see this week? I'm tangenting way hard on this. There was a whole thing on like young Bill Nye when he was on like cable access when he was hot young Bill Nye.
There was a hot young Bill Nye.
I'm gonna find this.
I was like,
no.
Wow. In 2025, the nerds be hot for no apparent reason, and everybody, both guy, gal, and every non-binary pal out there, they be loving the hot nerds now, myself included. Anyhow,
really great spots here. Chris and Willow, of course, were great together. There was that kind of Poison Rana thing where Chris Statlander just throws her legs up like, I hope you're there. And Willow goes, I am. Barely. Click.
Hi there.
They work so well together. They never have bad chemistry.
But again, just me. Maybe I'm a horrible person. I kind of wanted a chicken fight in the middle because we set up for one. And then it didn't happen. Like it was full arm thing and full, oh my God, it's going to happen. No, that would have been.
We may not have gotten the chicken fight, but we did get an amazing spot though, because towards the tail end of this match, we have Marina Shafir and Wheeler Yuta come down to like aid ? Chris Statlander for the win. Mm-hmm. Wheeler is about to do something to Willow. Willow turns around and she full on bulldozes.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, this is amazing. We love that spot. But it's enough of a distraction for Chris to hit the finisher and win. So Chris Statlander has earned the #1 spot for the Women's Casino Gauntlet match. So she will be starting off with whoever gets that second spot. So gonna be interesting. Again, Marina Shafir versus Chris Statlander. I'm ready for that match whenever you want to book it, Tony. I'm not even gonna lie. So again, fun. It was fun watching Wheeler get bulldozed.
It's his lot in life.
True.
Sorry,
I mean, Claudio's on vacation now. He's not injured, but he has he's been given time to take time off, which I was like, good for you, man. Like you've been out here working. So, Chris,
link JVL sent. My apologies I tuned out for a second of a bloody MJF eating a pickle.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
I'm telling you, that was such a great spot at that scrum. But we move on from this though, because we do end up with our final match of the evening: Hangman Adam Page versus the Beast Mortos. By the way, shout out to Beast. Like, I don't know what's going on, but Mr. Monet, Beast Mortos attorney at RAR.
That's
we'd
such
to
a good
see it.
sketch. I know we're not close enough to each other to write it, but damn, that'd be so funny.
To write does not need to be close. It's to film it is the thing.
Oh my god.
For reals, that would be amazing. Just have like a Zoom call of just like Beast Mortos.
Beast Mortos as the all-white sort of unicorn Beast Mortos, kind of more scary to me than this Mortos.
No, absolutely, because like it's giving me pale, like not Moxley Death Rider, but like mythological Death Rider, which is scary. Anybody who knows those legends, like
almost Pan's Labyrinth. What the hell is that?
Ooh.
Mortos, like, oh my god,
love me Pan's Labyrinth. But this is what closed out. This was a quick, like 9-10 minute match. Shout out to Beast though, because after 14 years of not being able to compete, he will be at CMLL's Viernes Espectacular this Friday, going up against Místico, which is going to be hella fun.
I might have to log in as you, Mikey.
Do it. I mean, oh, sorry, no, it's not just Beast Mortos. It's a 3-on-3 match. Beast Mortos is teaming up with CMLL Averno and Ultimo Guerrero, taking on Esfinge Templario, and of course the new Golden Boy Máscara Dorada.
Damn! Wow.
But still, that match is going to be
literal Golden
Boy. Adam Page having to catch the Beast Mortos when he was full power over 9,000, coming in and out of the ropes was ridiculous. It shows me how tough Adam Page is. They worked really well together. Like there was never a moment where I was taken out of this. I was like, this is a lot of fun. They're going for it. So
absolutely.
This was blast.
Did we expect anything less from them at all?
No, but sometimes the letdown is what I'm anticipating. Because it goes, this should be good. Oh, which means it's gonna suck. Like I talk myself into that.
Yeah, but this was a really fun closing match. It was shorter than the women's match, which was kind of fun to watch, you know. So Hangman Adam Page does pick up the victory here. Lights go out. EVP trigger him. We get a brawl. Swerve and Ospreay come out for the save. It's continuing to build into Y'all in Texas. And this is how Dynamite goes off the air this week, or this past week. This was a fun Dynamite. Washington was a really fun crowd for Dynamite.
They always are.
So let's
They were
jump
better for
in.
Collision. They were better for Collision.
Oh, absolutely. So let's just jump straight into it, because once again, Collision is also taking place in Washington. So both Dynamite and Collision were in Kent, Washington this time. So love to see that. So we kicked Collision off, though, with a promo from FTR. So
did this seem
FTR
as nonsensical to anyone else? Like it seemed like it rambled in the weirdest freaking way.
On FTR's part, yes. When Stokely started talking, then it kind of fixed itself. But nobody let I'm going to put Dax and Cash into the Místico category of promos. Never give these men more than 5 minutes to talk on the mic, because then we're going to be here forever. But FTR opened us up on Collision. They call the Outrunners to come to the ring. FTR and Stokely talk about, basically this was like a whole 10-year high school graduation reunion slideshow think piece, because then we get the video of the 2 weeks they spent together. So of course Dax and Cash begin talking to Outrunners, basically backhand complimenting them all the time. Then of course we get this I will remember you type video of all the times I was just like, see, this is what I wanted. And then after a month, AEW just took it away from us, which made me so mad.
Yeah,
I was here for FT. I was here for FT runners. Come on now. So then to end their part of the segment, Stokely gets back on the mic and he basically calls the Outrunners a cheap gimmick for a cheap pop for stupid fans, and that they are jokes of wrestlers. I was like, well, damn, you guys. I was like, that was kind of vicious, but I'm here for this. What made me love this anymore, though, is when we got to hear the response from the Outrunners. Was it anything profound? No. But the fact that these two showed that fiery personality outside of their goofiness that is the Outrunners, and their alter egos of Los Outrunners when they team with Bandito from time to time.
Oh, so good.
They are like, nah, you ain't gonna let you disrespect us like that, and we're gonna show you, and because we believe in us, the fans believe in us, and we're gonna prove it to you. We're gonna fight in this match. Stokely gets on the mic, says, "We don't wrestle for free, especially here in Washington. But tell you what, runners, we will see y'all in Ontario, California for Collision 100." So tomorrow night, because the tapings happen, it's a double taping of Dynamite and Collision tomorrow evening. Collision 100, we are getting FTR versus the Outrunners, which I was like, I kind of wish it was in y'all in Texas, but I ain't gonna complain because I will be there live. So, do I think the Outrunners are gonna win? No, sadly. I want them to, but it was nice to see them be fiery.
I think they have more, there's more to do if the Outrunners win, though, right? FTR has more to do. The Outrunners have more to do. I don't think they have the huevos to do that, but then we'll see.
We'll see. Please let the Outrunners win because I feel like they deserve it. But we go from 2 tag teams ready to fight each other to 2 other tag teams fighting each other because we get this tag team match as our first official match of Collision. The father-son duo of Nick Wayne and Christian Cage taking on Brian Keith and Big Bill Large William. What are we doing with Big Bill and Brian Keith? I was just like, y'all just have them keep taking L's, and I don't understand. Nobody's
there's
surprised.
Nothing to say about this. They basically cannot find what their team means. I think that they just can't work together like any better. They're just nothing to do.
I'm just like, what are we doing? Like, they had a tag team championship match at Dynasty, and ever since then they've been lost in the sauce. Like,
yeah,
like they haven't found anything. They haven't been utilized. They've been thrown together, just having fights for no reason. I'm just like, cool, but like, what are we doing?
We're not. No one knows.
Nobody knows. Nick Wayne and Christian Cage pick up the victory here. So we head backstage though, because concurrently MVP runs into the patriarchy. MVP and Christian taking digs at each other, especially Christian has gotten so nasty in his responses. It's kind of crazy, calling MVP a better criminal than a manager. I'm like, ooh, I was like, ooh, that one hurts. I was like, damn. Obviously, MVP and Christian have known each other for a very long time, so they probably talk to each other.
You don't say that to someone and not be their friend for 23 years. For
real. No. So, I mean, Jet Speed is supposed to be getting a tag team championship match at some point, but we're also teasing Hurt Syndicate versus Cage and Nick Wayne here. So I'm just like, triple threat? Like okay.
Yeah, a triple threat or like a 4 corners one I see coming somehow with shenanigans involved.
Oh, absolutely. So we'll see how this all transpires the next 2 weeks as we head into y'all in Texas. This match is banging too. Like, geez,
this
Louise.
was better than it had any right to be.
God, this ruled. So, of course, we get CMLL's Hechicero, the alchemist of CMLL, Rocky Azucar Romero, who represent AEW and CMLL. Then
still
on
like
team,
Trent Beretta farted.
Yeah, still, yeah, it's great.
And God, bro, that was 48 hours ago.
Well, and Hechicero's like cleaning off his hand because he probably helped him get it out of there.
It was so crazy. He had to burn it. He had to burn things with fire. That's the only way you get the stench out is burn it and purge it with fire.
Not to go down this rabbit hole, but to quote Mallrats, that smell gets in there for days and you can't get it off.
I love it so much. So that's Team Don Callis family. And then on the other side, we have what I lovely dubbed Team Baby Daddy. So that is Templario of CMLL and Brody King. So I'm like, hi, boys. But yeah, outside of looking at them, this match was banging.
Watching Rocky try to chop Brody King was the funniest thing I'd seen up until the
end. It was so good.
I have this in my library. Is this worth a watch?
Yes, please watch this.
Definitely
this match is definitely worth it. Rocky Romero trying to headbutt Brody King's chest too. Just the picture of him putting his face in it. I was like, bro.
And then Hechicero and Templario working the Llave style against each other was insane.
This match ruled. And to my surprise, Templario and Brody win. I was like, what? I was like, Brody King picks up a victory? Oh!
Well, now. Hello,
I was like, oh my. Nah, but this match for real was banging. Like, definitely go out your way to watch it, Professor. This was a lot of fun. And yeah, Don Callis family, man, be taking a lot of L's, unless you're Kyle Fletcher.
or
but,
Takeshita, really. I mean,
or Takeshita, honestly, too. So this was fun. Highly recommended for sure.
Please go.
This Mercedes, this promo is what I've been needing forever.
You want more Toni Storm on her feet?
Yeah, because she's beneath her. Look, was this the most profound thing? No, but this is the energy that we've been missing for the last couple of weeks. And of course, I got to listen to the uncensored version of this promo. So I was just like, all right, we have evil Mercedes up out here ready to take down Toni Storm. She basically, again, it's not even at this point, Mercedes in this promo said it's not even about getting the title because that's just an added bonus, but she's going to destroy the legacy of Timeless Toni Storm and expose her as the joke that she truly is. I was like, well, damn. I was like, where was this the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, this isn't Mercedes Moné. This is Rolls Royce Dinero that we saw down in Mexico. And we need to see this some more.
Exactly. This is what we've been waiting for. So I'm just like,
Professor's
Mercedes.
Just like lolling with it, yeah, like rolling with everything there.
He's trying to unmute himself because he is muted.
I'm like, okay, yeah, show me. I gotta go watch. I haven't seen Collision, but I believe you.
We're talking about it. We're talking about it right here. A full body suit with things going on. It's crazy. Watch the link I put in the chat. You'll love it.
For reals. But this ties up nextly, though, what happens next, too, because we immediately go to commercial and come back with Timeless Toni Storm, Luther, and Mina Shirakawa. Mina definitely says something interesting. She tells Toni to, as much as she wants to, she asks Toni to not come out for her TBS championship match at Dynamite 300. And Toni tells Mina to save a piece of Mercedes so she can kill her herself. But Toni is just like, I'm coming for you. She basically lit the fire in Toni. She's just like, this promo was good, but the promo that Toni had last week on Collision was by far amazingly done. And I was just like, I think this is my favorite promo this year from Toni so far. And it's on par with my favorite women's promo of last year, which was the Toni Storm promo where she addressed Thunder Rosa before their match at Dynasty last year too. Yes. I make love to my demons promo.
But this was a bit of a step back. I think it was probably because it was backstage, not feeding off the crowd. She does well, but like this was just kind of like, she's muted for some reason. I think it's a choice. I don't think it was on like a thing that just happened. I think she honestly wanted to play this down again, setting up that she's going to lose the title.
Probably. Professor, not this past Collision, but 2 weeks ago, her promo was amazing. I'm gonna try to find the video.
Oh, I saw it. Getting it up in the group chat. I saw it. Yeah, incredible. Okay. Incredible.
So good. But yeah, Toni, you're amazing. Love this. Can't wait. So, Megan, I love you, girl. But like, I know what we're building to. I kind of wish we keep Megan out of these squash matches, but it is what it is. So Megan Bang takes on local Kent, Washington native and Defy Wrestling promotion member, Vert Vixen, former Defy Women's champion. She lost the title to Marina Shafir, who has held that title. And Marina has preceded a year as Defy Women's champ, which is kind of crazy. Also, if y'all have Triller TV, please do yourself a favor and go watch Defy Wrestling. Her match against your mom's favorite Chola Viperess was amazing. So good. Also, that whole event was fun. But Megan Bang, this is a quick squash match. She beats Vert Vixen. Poor Vert. I love you, girl. I love you, girl. But we knew what this was. So, Megan, we're going to talk about you later, though, in the show, because you and Penelope come back up a little bit later. But I have nothing to add. Squash match. Love Megan Bang. We're building to something substantial, so I'm going to let this slide for now.
I feel like they don't know what to do right now with her. Like they've done all the things ish. They're trying to get through this Mercedes Tony thing, and since both titles are locked up in it, she can't chase the TBS title. So it's unfortunate for her. I feel like because of the storyline stuff, they can't do anything with her.
True.
I think they'll get there. I think it's just the logjam of storylines, right? Like, which happens. Sorry, trying to you think.
No.
You're right. It's okay.
It feels like in the AEW when it happens in the women's divisions, it's between 2 or 3 women, right? Whereas in the men's division, it's the logjam of 80 men. We don't know what to do. How are we going to do this thing? Lots of jokes per second. I think Megan Bayne, in fact, that's the only thing that makes sense is going for that TBS title or anything else like that at some point. If you're going to make her this behemoth, like she smashes everyone thing. If I'm familiar, and correct me if I'm wrong, I've only heard like 3 or 4 promos from her since she got up here.
I would say even less. Megan doesn't do a lot of talking.
Doesn't talk a lot. Talked maybe once or twice.
So that's why Penelope does a lot of the talking for her.
So I know, and I'm a fan. I like Megan Bayne a lot. The 3 or 4 GCW shows I saw with her in it with Andrew back in the day, I was like, oh my god, she's incredible. So we'll see.
Yeah, Megan, we love you, girl. She was also at the Fi Wrestling event, so shout out to Megan. So, Anthony. So Anthony declares himself for a match that is happening tomorrow. He enters himself in that fatal 4-way for the number 2 spot in the men's casino gauntlet match. We're going to talk about that when we preview Dynamite 300. I'm like, Anthony, we love you so much.
JBL is very verklempt right now. What happened?
He's going nowhere.
It's sad.
I don't know what to do with him. He is so I can't get excited about him being in this match because they're not going to do anything with him.
Sad. Yeah, he's incredible.
He really is, and but he's been we don't know where he's going. He just stuck.
You don't know where he's going.
Nah, and it sucks for sure. So. Adam Cole, you surprised me. This was a pretty decent match.
This photo is great. Yeah.
Where was this Adam Cole and Dynamite?
this is photo. So okay. So we don't need that Dynamite Adam Cole. This is the Chugs from the Evil Uno and him AEW video game Twitch channel. Like this is the Adam Cole we need. Just let it be a goofy nerd. We love him. But we get a TNT Championship match in which Adam Cole, baby, defending his title against the walking weapon of himself, Josh Alexander. I'm like,
this looks like an 80s movie. Like this looks like
Josh Alexander is basically the Americanized version of Drago. I was like, oh shit, here we go.
No. Just take a look at this photo. If we really look at it, this looks like Temu Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle.
Now, the real question
we can't afford that. We've got that at home.
I was just like, now, this is Timu. So, but this is the real question. You say that Adam Cole is the Temu Shawn Michaels. Now, is this the Temu Shawn Michaels pre or post getting off the drugs and finding God?
Check his eyes. Check his eyes. Check his eyes.
Check his eyes and check the hairline. It's post.
No, even Shawn Michaels will tell you that all the time. It's Shawn Michaels, we love you here. This is a pretty decent match. Yeah,
it was. Even funnier because Josh Alexander did the ankle lock on Adam Cole for a while. It writes itself. Their styles meshed very well. There was a lot of gamesmanship inside what they were doing. It moved quite quickly, and Josh looked more fluid than he has in a couple weeks. I was really excited to see how they worked this.
This was a fun match. Adam Cole retains, so great. Again, Don Callis' family outside of Kyle and Takeshita, they can't get it together, y'all. They can't get it together. So
Paragon saves the day.
Crazy. Listen,
please just keep this. I want them together now.
No, exactly. At first, I was just like, y'all were treating Gates of Agony like baby faces, and now they just slip back into the heel role. But you know what? Gates of Agony and Ricochet, I'm down for it. So AR
It's
Fox
the right
tries.
combo.
Yeah, AR Fox confronts Ricochet as to why he left. Him high and dry on Dynamite, but before he could get an answer, Gates of Agony attack and beat up AR Fox, and Ricochet's like, "Let's talk business, boys." And I was just like, "Okay." I was like, "I'm here for this pairing." Not gonna lie.
He's not going to have to do much for most of this. He's going to be able to be like that smarmy little chicken-ass heel who lets his big men do the talking, and then he's going to come out and like cut people's hair around them.
Very, very true. So, but I'm here for this pairing.
Bald.
Oh, listen, we get this video package of Alex Windsor, who, for those of us that watched Ring of Honor last year and to keep up with the British wrestling scene, I love her so much. We've been known she signed to AEW like for the last month or so. She is the engaged Mrs. Will Ospreay for a fact. So Will and Alex are engaged. So happy for the couple. But Alex Windsor is coming to AEW, and I'm just like, yes. I love Alex. I love her so freaking much. One of the shining gems of Rev Pro UK wrestling. So damn good. I'm excited.
So the thing we have to ask though is like, Will has like kids back in Britain. That's why he was flying back and forth.
He has clocked in 350 hours. Yeah.
Who's watching the kids?
That is a good question.
I mean, bring them.
True. I'm not saying he can't. He wanted to have his family because they were in school. Maybe it's because it's summer. It works. Who knows?
Could be.
Who knows how the UK system works? But I'm excited for Alex to be coming to AEW. She's going to be a great addition, and I'm excited for her to mix it up with the women's division here in AEW. She's going to be fantastic.
I'm excited for her. Couple of questions. One, which of the one segments of 8 minutes we get is she going to fit into right now?
Oh.
And two, why do I get the feeling in my waters that she's going to be Deonna Purrazzo'd? And it's just
no.
AEW has not proved to me they can book their women solidly. We have enough for an Evolution pay-per-view of their own. Why aren't we getting a women's-only pay-per-view that can show Tony Khan that his women are more popular and better wrestlers than half of his roster? I don't know.
Oof. So, that is very true. I'm going to wait. I'm just happy to see Alex be here officially because she's popped in a couple of times with AEW. She's popped in a couple of times in Ring of Honor, but she's officially signed, so let us see how this goes. Queen, I can never be mad. Queen Aminata, girl, love you. Sky girl, love you too.
This is
this is so good. I love this match too. Queen Aminata versus Sky Blue. Sky, not to say that she's a bad wrestler before, because she's not. But I don't know if it was all those Monster Energy drinks she drank or what, but she picked up some stuff and I'm here for it. And Queen is it feels like Queen is starting to be able to let loose a little more and be stiffer when she fights people. So this was great. I love this match.
It was well put together. Queen Aminata, they took each other to task. Julia Hart didn't get too involved, which was obvious later on why, and it was really cool. I loved this match. I thought that this could have gone on another 3 minutes. It would have been amazing.
It would have been. Queen Aminata does pick up the victory here, but like you said, Julia Hart didn't get too much involved in the match, but we know why, because afterwards she and Sky begin to beat up on Queen. Thekla comes out. Then we have Tay J come out for the save. Megan gets on the stage. I was just like, if this is not a match for y'all in Texas, like, I don't know what is. Like, oof.
I mean,
yeah.
And I did have to. Why Thekla? Like, it made no sense for her to be paired up alongside Julia Hart and Sky Blue. I can see why she's a heel,
and she and
pairing
Queen
makes no sense
with each other. But yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
So
But Ty
unless
J, great new graphic.
yeah, I love the new graphic for Ty J, love them so much. So Megan comes out as well. So we'll see what happens as we go through all this. All I was yelling at the screen, I was like, "No, Danny, don't do it." So
he needs to go somewhere with it.
Like, sure, fine. Lexi is interviewing Daniel Garcia. Daniel still wants to get his rematch with Adam Cole for the TNT Championship. Rocky Romero comes out trying to, one, persuade Danny to join the Don Callis family, and then basically call Daddy Magic a loser. I was like, damn, Rocky, we didn't need to go that far.
Oh, we did. We totally did.
That's true, though. I was like, Daddy Magic, I love you, but like, this is shit or get off the pot moment. Danny either needs to leave and be on his own or what? Because I thought we were going somewhere, but
so did he for some reason.
So I guess Daniel Garcia, I love you. I'm so sorry this is happening to you.
Oh.
So we get a rundown of what's announced so far. We're going to talk about it in a little bit, but right now we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But for right now, let's get into our main event of Collision, the Battle of the Kyles. The crowd.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Kyle.
Was that the cheer?
Oh, I put this in the chat. You needed to watch that, John. Just trust me.
Oh my gosh. I'm just like, this was the funnest match. This match was so freaking fun for AEW.
Well worked. Like, it was so good. I love this.
Wrestling wise, it was good. The crowd made this so much fun. Like, thank you, Kent Washington, for making this match even better than it. I mean, it was already good. You took it from great to amazing. Like, but yeah, Kyle O'Reilly, Kyle Fletcher. This was a match that
I was like, Kyle.
Yeah, this
is Kyle.
Yeah, this is Kyle. This is crazy. But my goodness, this was probably my favorite Collision match. I'm not even gonna lie. In ring wise, and then just the atmosphere, the crowd made it even better. AEW was a lot of fun this week on Dynamite, and then Collision was also fun too. Like, I had a great time watching this, but yeah, this was easily hands down my favorite match of Collision. Kyle Fletcher does pick up the victory here. So again, unless you're Takeshita or Fletcher, Don Callis family can only pick
Kyle.
pick
Kyle.
Just Kyle. Just Kyle. Just Kyle.
Just
That's
Kyle.
So Kyle.
That's so Kyle.
We love to see it.
Punching drywall. Kyle.
We love to see it so much.
I loved every bit of this. I couldn't stop watching it. It was so good.
No, this was fantastic. This was so much fun. But yeah, and then of course after the match, Paragon for the save because Don Callis come in to fight. Kyle Fletcher wants a piece of the TNT champion, which I was like, okay, bet. We'll see what happens with all of that.
Fletcher not having a title by this point is blasphemy.
Extreme so.
An AEW title for sure, because he has been Ring of Honor men's television champ, but yeah, he needs an AEW title.
But also, it's a title that Ospreay hasn't won, and he and Ospreay keep going back and forth. So he needs to pick up stuff and get that going.
For reals. So that is how Collision goes off the air, and that is how AEW programming was this past week. But before we sign off, let's preview what is to come tomorrow for AEW Dynamite 300 and Saturday for Collision 100. So,
give me more Kyle.
Give me more Kyle. So this is Dynamite 300 and Collision 100. So they are doing both tapings tomorrow evening in Ontario, California, which
strange
is go for it.
I think it's strange that that the numbers just line up that way. That they waited 200 episodes to start Collision so they could be right at the same time.
It's kind of crazy. But this is Young Bucks territories. This is their backyard, so they are proud.
It's your backyard too.
It's my backyard too. An hour and a half away.
A weird Photoshop of them. Look at what are they all looking at?
Trent Beretta.
Be like, dude, you farted again? What do we say?
Would you like a chocolate covered pretzel?
Especially Hangman and Okada and Tony is like,
Well,
really?
Well, and Dax. Look at Dax.
They're
Tony
all
Storm just looks
just-
happy.
Joe
Oh,
is just
man.
mean mugging Trent, who was off camera.
And then
This is
Hangman's in the middle of there, just
Well,
Yeah.
look at Okada, and with
He's
the
like,
Young
really?
Bucks hands, he looks like he has antenna.
It's crazy.
Oh no, absolutely does. Yeah, mm-hmm.
He's like,
Looks like
Shrek.
Toyo, the friendly bus. If anyone
We
knows
love-
that, that's a deep
we-
cut.
That's a
So
hugely
let's
deep cut right
preview
there.
what we got. So for Dynamite 300, this was just announced today, like an hour ago.
The
because we
Superman
are-
match.
Yeah, we are getting a tie-in with the Superman movie, which is coming out next week. So this match has been titled Heroes versus Villains. So this one out of three of these people on the hero side definitely screams hero to me. The other two are
Roddy
more
Strong.
sidekick. Yeah, but we are getting the team of Bandito, Roddy Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly taking on the
Bandito
villain
Gun?
team. Yeah. So we are so Paragon and Bandito taking on the villain team of Takeshita and the Young Bucks. So I was like, yeah, it makes sense. The Bucks
Why
got
is
to be on the
Nick
show.
Jackson doing the disappointed dad point? Now you listen to me. I'm going to be back in 30 minutes.
I have to wash this vest off from what you did to it. You stay there.
Now you-
For real. So
this is
crazy.
your mom's casino vest. She's got to wear it to work.
Why
So,
does
I'm gonna be-
Takeshita
yeah.
look like he's like listening around a bathroom door to somebody that's talking to him from the toilet?
For real. He's like, girl, did you hear? So to me, I'm just like, the villains are probably going to win, but what I'm going to be paying attention in this match is because we're probably going to get in this match continuing to build to Bandito and Takeshita for that Ring of Honor match happening at Supercard of Honor, and I'm pretty sure Takeshita and Bucks are winning here. So, but I'm okay with it. I think this is going to be a fun match. But some other things that we have announced for Dynamite 300 include this match, which is for the number 2 spot in the men's casino gauntlet at Y'all Texas. So this is Brody King, MJF, Anthony Bowens, and AR Fox. I was just like,
And it's probably
Who's
MJF, right? Like, that's probably
yeah, well, yeah. I was just like, it would be crazy if Brody wins or AR wins, but no, MJF is probably gonna win. What I would love is that if MJF doesn't win, it's because Mark Briscoe threw a pickle at him or something.
like the juice, like the vinegar and the.
Gets in his
Just like
eyes.
spray him in the face with it, just like, my eyes.
Who's half sour now?
So that would be fun for sure. I still think this is going to be a really fun match. I do say that MJF is probably going to win, but who knows? The crazier things have happened at AEW shows.
I'm sorry. The only person on there other than MJF that might have a chance to win that is Brody King. The other two
For
are not
reals.
winning.
I'm like, listen, I'm like, Brody deserves the world. You can't go on national television with an abolished ice shirt and Tony not do anything with it. I'm just
He
saying.
does. Like,
Yes.
all three. What sucks is, because all three of them have no storylines, no development, no push, no nothing. It's only MJF, which sucks.
Yeah.
Give me the swerve. Try something. Give Anthony Bowen something to do. Like,
It'd be great. It'd be great.
It would be, but yeah, MJF is probably going to win unless we get a distraction with the pickle juice or pickle itself. I'm really hoping that Kenny has talked to Ibushi in the last week because I still think this is going to be a really fun match, but I'm like, damn, my expectations are high and I feel like I shouldn't, but you know what? I'm still going to be entertained regardless.
I see Okada going over Ibushi, and then Kenny has to run down to make the save and gets attacked again.
True. Because Kenny has been out the last 2 weeks and he need to be popping up in some capacity.
Oh yeah.
But then we get in this TBS championship match, Mercedes Moné versus Everybody Wants Mina Shirakawa. I'm just excited that me and Mama Laguela gets to dance to her theme song again.
It's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be wonderful. I need you
I
to
was
tell
like-
me something though.
It's going to be great. Technically, this is a rematch from Resurgence minus Azumi because it was a triple threat at Resurgence. But I don't know. My gut says that Mercedes is going to retain, and that's probably what's going to happen. But
I
again,
disagree.
these like Centennial Dynamite shows be acting crazy because remember at 200, nobody thought that Sheeta would win the AEW Women's title that night, and she did.
Mikey,
So
if Mercedes loses the belt on Wednesday, that is guaranteeing she's getting the title at All In.
Right.
I'm putting that out there right now.
So, and if Mercedes retains here, then I'm still 50-50 if she's going to win at Y'all in Texas. So, honestly, this is going to be an indicator of what's going to happen in Texas. So, that's going to be fun. And then so far, the only thing that has been announced for Collision 100 is FTR versus the Outrunners. I want the Outrunners to win so bad. They're probably not going to, but I would be so happy if they did.
It would make the crowd really excited. They have not set up a reason for that to be, and I feel like that's working against them.
No, and it makes me very sad. But yeah, so far that's all that's been announced for these tapings. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get more stuff as the show goes on, which
Won't be a women's match.
Yes, I'm waiting for a women's match. I would not be surprised if we got some Ring of Honor tapings too, which would be a lot of fun as well. So we shall see what happens. It's going to be a fun but a very long night. But I'm still excited for all of it.
We expect updates and videos.
Yes, I'm excited. But that brings us to the end of our Elite Ensemble review this week. So before we wrap up, let me show you what the remainder of the week is going to be like. This is Kyle. But here's what the remainder of the week here at BC WrestlePod looks like. Tomorrow evening, of course, is the double block of reviews on Wednesday. First up at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, we have our NXT review as we are inching so close to the Great American Bash, which is the next PLE for NXT. So, of course, since I will be at the tapings tomorrow, it is going to be a mix-up of the roster. So tomorrow evening it is going to be Will, Adolfo, and the Professor covering NXT for tomorrow.
Yeah, I haven't watched NXT in a few months, so I'm excited to catch up.
Have fun with
So
that.
those three are going to hold it down, and then, of course, come back later at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern for our regular CMLL crew, who will be covering this past week's Viernes Espectacular, where we had the final of the trilogy between Bandido and Místico going one-on-one, which was an absolute banger as well. So Adolfo and Will be covering that. Then, normally we don't do anything on Thursdays, but this Thursday is an exception. So the Progressive Review team of myself and Andrew will be here Thursday evening, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 11:30 p.m. Eastern, to cover Progress Wrestling's Chapter 181, Far From Ordinary People. We had 2 Pick Your Poison matches, 2 championship matches, and I'm so happy that it's been a little bit of a hiatus for Progress, but I'm happy we are back because it is so much fun. Then on Friday, we will be having our regular scheduled TNA review, followed by our regular WWE review on Sunday. So I'm excited. This is going to be a lot of fun, but we got to get up on out of here. So thank you so much for tuning in. So we got an exciting week planned. Remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We will catch you for all the fun reviews, but until then, sayonara, adios, and we'll see you later. But actually, MXM Collection, why don't you play us out?
Let's get out of here. Johnny TV style. Sebastian! You're in the shot, you bald idiot! You fool! The other way, go!